Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take a quick look here again at ONDO, see what's going on. It's actually been a few weeks since I covered this last, and this is a request I get kind of a lot from our community. They talk about it a lot, so I just figure we kind of jump in, see if it's worth either taking a trade or just generally speaking what the macro structure looks like for this coin. And definitely looks pretty good. In fact, I was comparing it with SUI earlier because the chart pattern is almost identical. Granted, there's a lot of similar charts right now, but only very select altcoins are doing well in that regard as far as moving contrary and or better than Bitcoin right now. Okay, so again, this coin definitely looks like it's ready to rock and roll. Probably already has rocked and rolled, if you will, but we'll double check at a few other things here. Quick congrats to our committee here for some nice profits on our SUI long, 20% in roughly an hour and a half. We are long on ETH and Solana as well, so just keep that in mind. It's a good little situation. We have since shifted from our short on Bitcoin. We shorted from 101.5 to 99.9, and at this point here, secured profits, walked away. It's just kind of how it goes, folks. You don't hold on to trades for too long. You got to secure profits. If you don't, you're not really going to be a profitable trader. Fun advice or fun fact: highly profitable traders are those who take profits. Right? Just let that sink in. Think about it for a minute. Other thing to sink in too is to hit the like button every single video that you watch. Really appreciate that. Helps grow the channel, gets us in front of more people, and gets more unbiased opinions out there to the general population. Okay, so again, not going to come into this with any bias. While I do feel generally from this price structure standpoint, we're looking pretty bullish here. I'm not going to try to convince you of that or myself. I try to convince myself in any normal circumstance to try to take a an unbiased approach, but also to try to convince myself not to take a trade. Okay, try it for a change here. See if you like it. Anyways, Ondo, what's going on here? Last 7 days, liquidation's pretty heavy, between 150 and basically 180. Okay, we got a pretty heavy pocket there in the upper range of 170, but locally 155 seems like a very logical place for a take profit target. Now again, whenever I set take profit targets, they're usually going to be close to the middle or the lower range of these liquidation areas, concurrent with support and resistances too. Okay, so again, we're not just going to blindly take along to 180. It may be advantageous to take some profits between now and then and to consider averaging in or out of your position. All that said, from a macro perspective, 165 to 170 carries the most amount of liquidation because we got some late shorts here that are pretty heavy in liquidation. And what do you know? Imagine being heavy in profit from 164 to this $1 to $1.20 range and still holding on for dear life with a leverage play that's soon to get liquidated. Imagine that. That is just terrible. That's terrible trading right there. Again, easier said than done. I totally get it, but there's some crazy scenarios there that people just continue to hold on to for no reason. We've shifted bullish. We got our liquidation delta now in the green, kind of letting us know that more longs are in play than shorts, which makes perfect sense. We're in an ascending type of trend. We've broken through some key level resistances with Bitcoin, or broken, it's parallel. It's basically averaging itself in the resistance range. But this coin does look like it has broken free from its obvious descending trend. Okay, so if you're not familiar, I always post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here. It's all available for you there. Make sure you check it out. I'll have one here shortly for this coin. But the key takeaway here is we look at open interest. We can kind of summarize that there's people are pretty heavy at 143 and previously 156. So we can summarize that 156, we're going to see some exit liquidity when the price comes up there because there's a very large position at that level. Folks are going to want to exit their position at either break even or potentially in profit here soon. It's hard to say. But generally speaking, that is an area of resistance. Open interest can be support and resistance in most cases. Okay? We're above a lot more volume than we are below. Therefore, further upside makes more sense. Okay, that's how you kind of want to interpret that. Let's take a quick look here at daily time frame. Kind of see what's going on here. From a larger time frame perspective, look at that. Got some old Elliott wave stuff there. Let's quickly look here, though, at the current scenario. So from an overall perspective, I mean, this is how most macro charts look. They're still going to be fairly bearish in the overall sense of like a descending trend line. So that's not, while I do try to promote and, incentivize looking at trend lines and making sure you're on the right side of those tracks, it's not a problem to be below this and still take it long because I'm willing to speculate smaller time frames. If this chart's anything like SUI's chart, it's probably in a very bullish situation on the smaller time frames. Okay, again, it's one of the few outliers here so far today performing better than Bitcoin, and it also didn't dip super hard. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But either way, descending trend line, cool, that's one thing. But we got also the 50-day and the 20-day SMA below the price action. So far today, we close above 143. We'll be above that confirming factor, letting us know we're in pretty good shape. We take a look at here at the macro as well. Most coins cannot say that they're over 50 in the RSI. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, SUI is not, and it's still performing very well, right? So you can take longs on coins that are underneath specific key level resistances on the macro, as long as the micro is super strong, okay? So we're gonna see that here in a minute if that's the case, but it helps to know that we're above some key levels here for this coin. Stochastic is trying to swing up here, and of course we got MACD converging. So there's a lot of good stuff here, right, folks? Again, from a macro scenario, not a lot of coins can say that they're doing really well. It's maintaining this range. While it did dip down pretty hard, of course, every coin had that scenario in place. But now that we've weathered that storm, the likelihood of further upside is higher. Okay, we're also above this local 0.618.65 fib level. Again, that reaffirms that support at 135 to 140. We got our point of control here. Even if we're to zoom out further, we want to speculate it's going to probably be in that same range of 133. So again, we got tons of volume below us, right? When volume is below us, you have a lot of control. People are buying. People have bought more, and more people are in profit, and in turn, they're going to want to protect their investment by adding to their position if the price pulls back. It's a good sign. We always like to see that. You want to be on that side of the tracks. Same thing here as well with RSI over 50, stochastic swinging up, money flow index good. MACD is awesome. There's literally nothing I see here that's bad. If you look here, a lot of confluence too. Again, with moving averages 133 to 140. So hypothetically, the price pulls back to that 133 to 140 range. That'd be an awesome place to consider averaging in. Taking a look at the hourly time frame, probably likely a lot of confluence here as well. We have green lights on every aspect of the situation here. In other words, conversion lines above the baseline, lagging spans free and clear. We're well above the cloud. There's tons of support in this range. So I'll draw out a new chart, I'll update this chart, show you specifically those areas of interest. But with this amount of liquidation being above the price action, immediately above, in addition to us having tons of support below the price, the likelihood of going up is greater, pending Bitcoin doesn't run towards 90,000, okay? As long as that doesn't happen, we're in pretty good shape. That's generally the consensus. So again, looking awesome here. Coin's definitely great. Thank you so much for the call out. I think it was Dave that mentioned this. Appreciate you, bud. One of our phenomenal admins here in our community too. So thank you again for everything you do. You've been a really cool dude. Okay, other than that, really not much else to really note. Just be on the lookout again for our plot chart. I'll post that here shortly. Future reference too, in case you guys aren't familiar and you're not currently in an Ethereum trade, we have a long open for ETH. Awesome CME gap between 2,900 and 3,300. I think we're going to see that bad boy get filled, considering Bitcoin's already been filled, and we have that last remaining value there. Anyways, sidebar. Hope that makes sense. Have a great rest of the day. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks again so much for your time. Take care.